everybody. Today we have a very special guest, and as you know, my name is Alicia McMichael. Today I experienced an awesome stand-up paddleboard yoga class by an amazing woman who not only started her own business, but she has successfully carried it out for over the last year here in Hawaii. Please, everyone, welcome to the show today, Miss Kelsey Barden.
Thank you.
Awesome. So tell us about yourself. How did you get started here in Hawaii, starting your own business?
Well, I actually moved to Hawaii in 2009, and I had been working as a teacher, classroom teacher. And I taught first grade in Kapolei for 5 years. And part of the inspiration for me, I'm from Canada originally, and I wanted to move to Hawaii and live by the ocean and learn how to surf like countless other people who've moved to Hawaii. And I kind of reached a point where I was commuting a lot, part of the reality of Hawaii, spending a lot of time indoors, and I was kind of frustrated because, I wanted to be outside and be in the sun and be connected to nature. So I had, been practicing yoga for more than 10 years and teaching for about the same amount of time, classroom teaching. And I got into surfing a little bit. It's a long learning curve for surfing, and so I'm still working on it and having fun. But I picked up paddleboarding, and the thing that I loved about it is that anyone can do it. After like 5 or 10 minutes of kind of getting your balance, and then all of a sudden you can go out and enjoy the ocean, and it's a great way to like see the turtles and the reef and the fish. And it was fun because it wasn't as difficult to me as surfing. And so it was actually probably about 2 years ago. I was at a yoga festival, Wanderlust, which is held on the North Shore, Turtle Bay, every year. And I was, had a full weekend of yoga and was just feeling so good. And I thought to myself, man, I wish I could do this. I could feel this good all the time, and I could have yoga in my life all the time. And I kind of had this inspiration, and I was like, well, I can. I can teach yoga if I wanted to. No one's saying that I can't. But then I was like, I don't just want to teach yoga. I want to be outside and on the water and connected to nature. So, I had done 1 or 2 stand-up paddle yoga classes, and I loved them. And so I was kind of frustrated that no one at that time was really offering stand-up paddle yoga, and if they were, it was really expensive. So I had this vision to bring sup yoga to people of Hawaii and make it accessible and affordable. So about 2 years have gone by, and now Yoga Floats is up and floating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. So can you tell us about when do your classes start? Like what times do they happen, and where's your business located? Like what part of the island?
So all the classes right now take place in Honolulu at Ala Moana Beach Park.
Okay.
We're near Magic Island. The location's really nice because it's quite protected. The winds, the trade winds generally come from the east, and so we're kind of tucked in at Magic Island. We don't get as much wind, and then the reef stops all the waves from coming in. So it's generally fairly calm and flat, great place for sup yoga. And we anchor the boards down so that we don't have to worry about drifting off over the reef or anything like that. And right now the classes are at 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The schedule may be changing a little bit, but we're there every day except Sundays. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And then you mentioned there's a guest teacher coming in from California to do a teacher training program. Can you tell us about that?
So her name is Jillian Gabri, and
Okay.
she's a professional paddler sponsored by Roxy. So she's been doing this for quite a while, and she's created her own business and her own training program. She partners with World Paddle Association, and can give certifications through them. So actually I did my initial training with her as well, and it includes a stand-up paddleboard instruction, so the strokes and the techniques and the safety regarding that, and then it builds on that and it adds the yoga element and teaches us, stand-up paddle yoga. And actually the course that she's offering this year, it also includes fitness on the boards. So stand-up paddle fitness is also a new, fun, growing sport where you can get a good workout on the boards. So that training is 6 days, and it happens mid-February here in Honolulu at Ala Moana Beach Park.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be lots of fun.
Cool. Look at you.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice to anyone out there that would like to start their own business?
Yeah. Just do it. It wasn't easy, but as like cliche as it is, the whole Rome wasn't built in a day. I had no idea where to start, and then I just kind of started doing, one day I would do one thing. If it was like researching how to incorporate a business, and the next day it was one more thing, and I had zero experience in business. I'd never taken a business class at school. My dad was actually an entrepreneur for his whole life, and so he started multiple businesses, so he was a good reference. I'd be sitting at my computer so confused, and Dad, what does this mean? How do I do this? But, just through trial and error, Googling, researching a lot of stuff, figuring it out, that's the way I did it. So, if I could do it, I think anybody can do it if they're willing to take the risk.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
That's great. And how has yoga impacted your life?
Oh, well, I think I initially was drawn to yoga because when you're a first grade teacher, life is very chaotic and crazy. The kids are so cute, but they have so much energy, and it was just, there's always this stimulation and the kids wanting and needing your attention, and it was such a fast-paced, busy, that at the end of the day my desk would be a mess because you don't even have time to put a book away in the middle of class. And so I started practicing yoga and just found that time to breathe and relax and be calm and quiet, and and I just started feeling really good after a class, like the yoga high, and you leave a class feeling just relaxed and at ease, kind of float out of the yoga studio. And so that's why I got hooked. I love that feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So your studio is actually the ocean.
Yeah, it's called a floating studio. Yeah. Some people, a lot of tourists come and they're looking for a building, or they're asking about, lockers and change rooms. I'm like, oh no, it's just me in a van in the beach. So
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. So how can our viewers connect with you on social media?
Well, we have a Facebook page, Yoga Floats Hawaii, and our Instagram is Yoga Floats as well. And our website, yogafloats.com, has a lot of information, the schedule, the pricing, and there's lots of photos. I take photos during the class, and then I share them with the people who come, and so I share those on Facebook. So Facebook's flooded with tons of photos of kind of what a class looks like and what we're doing out there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So how do you feel working on the ocean every day?
Oh, it's awesome. It's so awesome. You know what? It's really fun because every day is so different, depending on what the water is doing, the waves are doing, the tide, if it's raining or if it's sunny. So no two classes are ever the same. And then we're also at a public place. We're at a beach. Sometimes, little kids are splashing and playing and come in the middle of our class, and that's all part of it. But yeah, it's really fun, and it's cool to be on the water every day. I'm starting to really get connected with the rhythms of the full moon and the tides, and learning how that affects us. So that's cool.
Can you tell us more about that?
Well, one of the trial and errors when I first started, figuring out at what point, where we should be anchored in the water. And I learned the hard way that if you go out on a low tide and the tide is rising, then a couple of times the anchor line was too short. And so people started drifting away. But luckily I've worked out those kinks. But, it's just learning these things that a lot of people are unaware, so, yeah.
Beautiful. So you grew up in Canada?
Yes, I grew up in Alberta, and Saskatchewan and BC, but really far from the ocean. If I were to drive to the ocean, it would take, like 20 hours or something like that. So I was always a water baby, and I love swimming in the pools, and I did synchronized swimming, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And so, yeah, it was kind of fitting that I found my way to the ocean, I think.
Awesome. And will you be at a Wanderlust Yoga Festival this year here in Hawaii? Oahu?
Yes, I will be. That's coming up the end of February. It's a really fun weekend, and I get to go and enjoy. I'm going to have a little staycation for myself, and maybe next year I might be teaching at it, hopefully. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So have you attended any type of entrepreneur classes or connected with any people here in Hawaii?
Not really. I have some friends who are entrepreneurs, and we swap stories, but nothing really official. But yeah, mostly just talking with friends, other entrepreneurs, and things like that. I did have a good opportunity to network. I was working at a co-working space in Honolulu, the Box Jelly.
Oh,
and,
nice.
Yeah, and that was fun because, I got to meet my accountant, and I met, a marketer and different people that I could connect with, a photographer. And so it's a fun way to meet people, network, and exchange services and things like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Box Jelly Productions is a very awesome place.
Yeah, it's great. It's really fun. I loved it. I was definitely more productive there than I was at home.
Yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. So, so what do you have planned for the next year as far as your business and your programs and?
Well, I have lots of ideas. We'll see what actually comes to fruition. I'm hoping to find a second location. I'm hoping to expand and offer more classes, maybe bring in some of the fitness classes, maybe do some nighttime classes with lights underneath the boards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's really fun. Yeah, lots of fun ideas, and just keep doing what we're doing, because, at the end of the day, it's a really unique experience, and what I love the most about it is that people who come, most people, it's their first time trying SUP yoga, and they're just so stoked. They love it. It's very rare that, someone isn't happy with it, because, if someone's coming to the beach to try doing yoga on the ocean, they're generally pretty open-minded about it, and they all just leave really happy and excited about their experience. So it's fun to be around that positivity all the time, and happy people,
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how is it not having your cell phone or computer?
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah. You just leave it and head on the water, and, people can't get in touch with you or distract you, and, you can just connect with nature. Yeah. But then I do need it the rest of the day to, run a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. So, so as far as your yoga practice, you're doing about 2 classes a day?
Yeah, 2 to 3 classes a day. Like I said, the schedule, it was fairly consistent last year, but we're looking at a few different tweaks here and there. But definitely 2 classes a day. We usually do a morning class, and then the sunset classes are really beautiful too. So as the sun goes down, and we do our yoga practice and kind of watch the sun setting, and it ends up with really beautiful pictures too.
Awesome.
Good memory. Yeah.
Yeah, I really loved your class today. It was so much fun.
Good.
Like, we got to see the little turtle swimming around the
there was
ocean.
a turtle hanging out. It was so cute. Popped his head up a little bit. Yeah.
And it's great. So do you get mostly tourists that come to the class?
Yeah. My goal is to get both tourists and locals. And as it turns out right now, there's more tourists who are coming to the class than locals. I think that's probably because they're seeking out something to do. They're searching for activities in the area, and so they're finding me and stumbling on my site. But locals are coming too. The local rate is almost 50% off, because I know if you want to come back more than once, locals can't be spending it. So it's $40 for the tourist rate,
Okay.
and $22 for the Kama'aina rate.
Awesome.
For a drop-in class. Yeah, and all the classes are an hour and 15 minutes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So what dates are the upcoming teacher training program?
The teacher training starts on February 16th to
Okay.
the 22nd, I believe. And then a day or two after that is Wanderlust, is the 23rd to the 27th, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So what are some of your favorite things to do in the community? Learn some more about you.
Oh, some things in the community. Well, like I said, I'm still working on the surfing. I like it. I'm still learning. And I try to get out and practice yoga too. I don't do that as often. But I'm actually involved with Surfrider Foundation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a nonprofit that's dedicated to protecting the oceans and the beaches. They do a lot of community outreach through beach cleanups. They work a lot with the legislature and passing bills. They were one of the prominent forces in getting the plastic bag ban passed. I think a couple years ago now, and they're working really hard to ban styrofoam as well. So yeah, they do a lot of great work like that. So I like to get involved and help out when I can there to keep our oceans clean. Yeah, and other than that, spending time with friends, hiking, being outside, all that fun stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So Surfrider Foundation, they're here in Oahu? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Actually, Hawaii has one of the biggest, most active chapters. It's based all over the U.S. and I think other countries around the world as well. And yeah, the Surfrider Hawaii chapter is very active. They have lots of community members. It's a great way to meet like-minded people and to. When I first moved here, it was a great way for me to meet new people and get involved in the community.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think that you'll teach any children stand-up paddleboard classes?
Yeah, we do have a family stand-up paddle yoga class. I ended up putting it on the Friday afternoon time because I found the beach was busy and there were families that, were going to the beach after school, getting ready for the weekend. And just, the energy at the beach is a little busier. Like I said, sometimes the kids coming in and wondering what we're doing or trying to follow along from the water. And so rather than kind of struggle with the noise and the chaos of the beach, I thought, well, wouldn't this be a good time to just invite the kids to come? So kids come with their parents, ages 8 and up, and we have, a children's rate for them to come. And they really love it. I've had a handful of kids come, and they're like good sports. Some of them try and fall in as much as they can. Others follow along pretty seriously, or they play with their sibling and try and push their sibling in. But yeah, it's fun to get the kids out and trying it. And it's really easy for them too because they're so small. So relative to the board, it's really easy for them to stand out because the bigger the person, the taller the person, the more challenging yoga on a board is.
I know. I remember today, doing it was the tree pose.
The tree pose is hard. Yeah, that's a good challenge. Standing on one foot is, one of the most challenging poses you could do. But I always like to throw it in there and get people wet if they want to. If you need a challenge, let's play with this. Yeah.
Awesome. So do you envision having some big Hawaiian Samoans on the stand-up paddleboard doing tree pose?
If they want to come, I would love to have them. Yeah, it's a challenge, but basically anyone who's open-minded, like I said, willing to try it and being okay with falling in, then they'll probably have a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Great. So you're doing 2 classes, and then you have an upcoming teacher training program.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on. And then, yeah, like I said, hopefully we'll maybe expand to a couple other areas of the island, and maybe even some stand-up paddling tours and classes and stuff like that, because we use the boards primarily for yoga, but we also can paddle with them too. And like I said, I have that training and that certification as well to do paddling classes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is fun. It's different too, but it's, especially in Ala Moana Beach Park, it's really good to see the turtles while you're paddling.
Yeah, that was so beautiful today, seeing the turtles.
Yeah, it's so cute. We had to stop everything. Wait, everybody turn around. Take a look at the cute turtle.
So what does your family think about you moving to Hawaii and starting your own business?
They're very supportive. They lent me a lot of the startup funds to start this. And like I said, my dad was an entrepreneur, and he was very supportive and very excited. I have two other sisters, and he was like hoping that there'd be someone in the family to take over his business, which we were not interested in. He sold photocopiers and like office equipment and stuff, so that wasn't really our thing. And then and then we all became teachers. and then he was excited that there was an entrepreneur in the family. And so they're very supportive. They were just here over Christmas to visit and kind of see what my business looks like. And my mom took classes every day.
Aww. I
got my dad on the board doing yoga once. It's not really his thing, but he gave it a good effort. Yeah.
Aww.
And then he was more into paddling and than the yoga side of it. And we do get a good portion of men coming to the class. Sometimes yoga is so like female dominant, but there's lots of times where couples will come, or sometimes like there's been a few guys that have come with a couple of friends by themselves. But I always love to see like the male representation on doing sub yoga too. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So what else? What can we expect for the year? And
we'll see what the year has in store, but I would like to maybe offer another teacher training for those who are interested, and maybe even get into doing some retreats, maybe some staycations for people here in Hawaii, and can organize something around that, doing stand-up paddle yoga and other active outdoor activities. It is fun because there's so many different directions that we can take it. Like working on your paddling skills, yoga skills, all sorts of different things like that. It's fun. And It's nice too because people can just take time to play on the boards and try different things. Today we had a lady working on her headstand on the board. That's always a good one. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you mentioned you're partnering with a local clothing brand that you'll be representing?
Oh, yeah. So there's been a few people who have reached out. We did an event with Fabletics.
Okay.
And they opened a store in the international marketplace. So we did a SUP yoga event to promote that. Also a little bit with Lululemon. And this weekend, Tory Burch is opening a sportswear active line. And I think their new store is in Ala Moana, and so they're going to come do a photo shoot at Yoga Floats and sort of highlight doing stand-up paddle yoga with their new clothes and stuff. So yeah, it's fun to get some connections and partnerships with other local businesses here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how did you establish that?
Actually, in both those cases, they sought me out and they just said, hey, we found your business, we're interested in working with you. So, which is nice. It's quite a compliment, when people find me and say that they're interested in working with me. I haven't really been actively pursuing that because, there's a lot of stuff to focus on. So I'm just trying to make sure that I get my business up and running and that each class is the best that it can be. And then from there, it's, can kind of start to grow outwards from that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have any mentors or any idols that you've looked up to over the years that have inspired you?
Well, yeah, lots of people. Probably my parents, and they've been like a key factor in helping me to just go after whatever I want to do. And then one of actually my inspiring yoga teachers is here on the island, on the North Shore, Lily Barrels. She was the teacher that got me hooked, and she only taught one class a week, and so for about 5 years, no matter what was happening in my life, Monday night at 6:30, I made sure I was going to that class, and so that was nice, to really get that consistency and that love for yoga. She leads a very beautiful class, and and in terms of like entrepreneurial mentors, Yeah, just I've seen other friends do it, and at first it kind of seems really scary, and I'm like, well, I have no idea how you would do that, but it's been nice to like bounce ideas off of them and kind of see what they're doing and how I can apply it or learn from their mistakes too. That's always nice, so you don't make the same mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Box Jelly Productions, did you find like an accountant there? Or who?
Yes, I found my accountant and a photographer who took some phenomenal shots of us. Who else? A lady helped me develop some marketing material and some social media and stuff like that. So that was really fun. I'm not there anymore, and yeah, I'm realizing that it was really more productive to be outside of your house when you're trying to get work done. But it's also nice to save a little money and just work from home. But yeah, it was a fun opportunity to network at Box Jelly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be a part of your class today.
Yeah,
at Yoga
thank
Floats.
you for coming. I'm so glad it worked out. And we had a beautiful sunny day today too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so nice to be in a group of all women.
Yes. Yeah.
I've been like checking out like all these amazing gyms, and I'm like, oh, Yoga Floats, what's this?
Yeah, get some feminine energy.
Yeah. So I'm really inspired that you were able to be here today on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
And I just want to thank you for the leadership that you are in our community here in Hawaii.
Thanks.
And I hope that your beautiful amazingness of the creation of Yoga Floats inspires others to pursue business development and entrepreneurship themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so too.
And so we're just going to be wrapping up in the next minute. If you want to share anything else with our viewers today.
Well, obviously, I'd love them to come check out Yoga Floats if it's something that interests them, if they like the water, if they like yoga. But also, I think it's important to point out that a lot of people are coming with no experience, and so it can be really intimidating to show up and do a yoga. Lots of people are like, yoga's hard enough on land, I can't imagine it on water, but we really try and make it accessible to all levels. So if you've been practicing yoga for 20 years, you can come, or if it's your first time on a board, your first time in a yoga class, you're still welcome to join and experience some success with that too.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
So stand-up paddleboard yoga is great for beginners too?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being
Thank you
here
for having
today.
me, Alicia.
And I'm super excited. I hope to join you in as many classes as possible.
Yes, yeah. We'll see you back on the water.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we wave to the camera?